Hey guys, welcome back to Miscellaneous TCG store. Today I have a market watch for you. And if you stick around till the end, I might even go over my Despia deck profile, but we'll see as we go through how long this ends up being. A few movements on the market that I've noticed, so I wanted to talk about those today. The first card that I have for you is Swordsoul Emergence. I've been seeing a lot of Swordsoul tops recently. I think people are picking up on this. This deck is actually a very good counter to Branded Despia. But if you look down here, the lowest copies now are $8, and there's quite a few at this price. But pretty surprising because this was a $3.50 to $5 card for the longest time. If you look back here, yeah, with shipping, you're paying about around $4 to $5 really. But it's going up in price, which is not surprising because you are going to be playing this at 3 copies in most Swordsoul decks. Along with that, Chi Chow is also up in price. This had bottomed out to around $3.50 to $4. And this is up to $7.60 for late play first edition. And then if we check out near mints, they're around $7 to $8 as well. This card was cheap for quite a long time. Luckily, I pulled one of these in my box opening that I did for Burst of Destiny, along with one of my Ecclesias, but this is getting pretty expensive, which is pretty cool to see, I guess. I did think for a while that this deck was very underrated, especially since it just consistently does okay as far as like seeing tops here and there. But it's getting pretty consistent with seeing tops like in the top 8 of most tournaments. And then along with this, I didn't have this for this market watch because I believe I showed it a couple of days ago, but the lowest listing for Ecclesia is now $60, going up towards $65, which is pretty crazy. I didn't think that we would see another price spike before we saw a reprint. The other card I wanted to go over is Aluber, the Jester of Despia. The original print, Secret Rares, down quite a bit in price here at $41, going up to $42. It's actually very tempting for me to come in and pick up these copies. I think if it hits 35, then I would be comfortable picking up these and selling my ultra rares. But yeah, because these look really, really good in person. I'm really sad I never got a chance to get mine at 35 months ago. But how the mighty have fallen, you know, peaking up here around $144. I know some people spent a little over 150 on their copies, so pretty crazy to see it near its original levels here. But yeah, if you want to do a secret rares, not a bad time to do it. Branded opening still around that 24 to 25 mark, which is insane, which is why I've tried to shape my deck around not having to play branded opening. The punk stuff is also moving up in price, which I said that it probably would when we got Deer Note because the engine's just insane. But I think you'll be surprised with some of the movements that we're seeing. No Punk Ogre Dance. This card was around $1 from release. It's up to $3 now. And then I wouldn't be surprised if this is a $5 to $6 card here soon because you are going to be playing this at 1 copy in your Punk engine. Next is Foxy Tune. I just picked up a couple of copies for myself at $8. And I just checked in today, and the lowest listing is $25 for this card, which is crazy. You really only need one. It's going up to 50 here, which is, I mean, ridiculous. Like, I feel like D-Boys, I always see them listing their copies for ridiculous prices. Like, do they actually make sales? But yeah, 25 is what you're gonna be playing now, or paying now, sorry. Do I think it's going to come back down a little bit? Yeah, I probably think it will. But honestly, the Grand Creators is looking like a nice set to be opening right now because you got the adventure stuff, but also the punk stuff is worth money now. At the very least, though, I think that the boxes are around $67. I think it's one of the best sets to keep sealed, in my opinion. And then also for the Grand Creators, I've noticed the lowest gold star listing now for the collector rare Rite of Aramasir is $105, which is crazy because I remember it being $220 and people saying, yeah, such a great investment. I'm going to go pick up my play sets of these collector rares. And I just thought it was a terrible idea. Just we haven't seen in history any collector rares staying above that 200 mark except for P.U.N.K. Chaos. But at least for like competitive cards, we haven't. I guess, yeah, I mean, there's some exceptions from P.U.N.K Chaos, but I think after P.U.N.K Chaos, there really isn't anything above like $150 for collector's rares. So at 105, if you want to pick them up, I think that's perfect. I think the Water Enchantress is probably a little bit more expensive. We'll take a look actually. Because to me personally, I think the rights look really, really good. But as far as something that I want in my collection, I would be a lot more interested in Water Enchantress. But I want to look at the prices for these. If these come down to 105, then I would be interested in getting these as well. No, so lowest is 130 here. And I mean, pretty much 130 as far as you can see here. Some of these places I've never even heard of, like Harry's House of Cards. I've never seen this store before. They only have one listing here, or recently updated products. But like I said, the rights are around 105 pretty steadily. And those look insanely good as well. But as far as everything else goes in the collector rare department, we had the Michaelis here for 75, which is crazy. Packs at 61. Tributes and Solemn Strikes are like $50. Those are really good pickups. Emergency Teleport, I would kind of stay away from. Like, you're better off getting the ultimate rare. Foxy Tune is $80 now. I guess that makes sense with ultra rare being 25. Yeah, $80 solid here, going up to 85. These were 45 not long ago, like just maybe a week ago. And that's pretty much it. It's pretty top heavy. The rights and the Water Enchantresses, they're settled in here around 40 to 45, which is the lowest they've been. Fateful Adventure at 32. It's down a little bit in price there. Okay, so everything else not too bad. It looks like Taylor, looks like that Michaelis is going up in price that you won. It's around $8. So if you want to end up selling, I know you sold your core, so if you want to sell this as well, I'd understand. Make a quick buck. So I wanted to take a look at No Punk Deer Note from Dimension Force, because this is also going to be a key part of that combo with the Punk stuff. It's around $4. I think if you want to go ahead and grab it, I think this will be pretty in demand. I don't think $4 is bad. Can it go lower? Yeah, but I don't think it's going to go below $2, just because I think this is going to be a pretty popular engine. Next is Swordsoul of Moye. So going along with the Swordsoul stuff, I got this at around $20, I believe, 20, 21, something like that. And now the lowest listing is 28, and then we're bottoming out here to 30. And the thing is I don't really know why this one would go up so much in price, because you're usually playing this with like or at least I am playing it with the adventure token stuff. So you can't really normal summon this anyways. So like, I'd rather play this at 1 copy and play Long Juan at 3, and then just have like a very large 10E package. At least that's what I'm going with in my build. But yeah, I'm playing this as a 1-up. I think that's all you really need. If you want to play 3, then you just kind of need to cut the adventure token stuff. I am just gonna, since what's down here, let's just click on Incredible Ecclesia, do a check-in for the day. $60, yeah, lowest, but there's 17 copies. But once those are gone, yeah, we're up to 64, 65. So yeah, that's not too bad. We're up about, I guess, 20% from $50. And then let's look at Long Juan as well. I think these are now a couple of dollars. I think this is a card that someone picked in the original Market Watch contest that I did last year. And at the time it was like 60 cents, but it just never really did anything. But, you know, had this been your card still to this day, you would have definitely done pretty well, because it's quite up from 70 cents. It's around $2. Next is Fairy Tale Snow. Just wanted to point out, you know, this is a card that I talked about getting at $12 to $14 right when Ghost from the Past released. So I was like, look, it didn't get a reprint. It came off the ban list. There's only 3 total copies, only 1 holo copy. People are going to want these, and they did, because now they're $33. Lowest, I was able to get 2, and I actually sold one of them for, I think, $25. So I was like, as soon as I got it in the mail, I just shipped it back out, which is always a good feeling. But I still have my personal copy for playing with. and I am actually playing it in the Albaz deck, but looking pretty good. So hopefully you got these at $14, I guess is the moral of the story here. Actually, before we move on, let's just check the other copies. Because I think last week when this originally got bought out, the other copies were around $6. Looks like they have moved up quite a bit here. Going for around $8. I was able to pick up, I don't know if it was Lumina. Maybe it wasn't the reprint version. Let me check. Somebody had like 300 copies of the Italian for like $4 each, and I was able to pick up a couple of copies of those for like $4 each. So I'll probably turn around and list those as well and just keep my super rare. It just seemed like an easy flip. Next is Book of Moon. I just wanted to note that this is getting low on listings. There's 25 listings left, and a couple of light plays here at around 80. But the first near mint is 88, and then the next near mint is 94. You know, bottoming out here to 100. This is a card I talked about when it kind of bottomed out at $78 for near mint. It looks like it's been selling, and it probably is getting ready to turn around here and head back up. This is a card that kind of fluctuates quite a bit. Like the bottom is usually always at like that 78 to 80 range, whereas the top end is more towards 120 to 140. We've seen that in the past, certainly. Back here, you can see, yeah, like the market price being 122. Then we casually floated down here to the bottom around 75. And things are picking back up. The market price is now around 80. And I don't know. I just think this shouldn't be less than $100 personally, especially since it's the highest rarity besides the Champion Pack Super Rare, which is around $1,000 for near mint. So yeah, keep your eyes on this card. And then let's see what else we have here. Joker's Night, Collector's Rare. This card was around $20 not long ago. Market price has still stayed the same here. It says 24, but there were some in the low 20s, between 20 and 23, that I was able to pick up, but the price has been steadily increasing recently. We have the lowest listing here for light play first edition at 34, and then the lowest near mint, Gold Star Seller is $40, and then going up to 45, and then kind of capping off here at 50. But there's really not that many copies for sale. Like the most we have here is 2 copies for light play first edition. No one has multiple near mints. If we go to the second, I guess the cheapest 2 copies available would be for $50 each, but the cheapest play set is going to be 55. And like I said, there's really not many left here until we're pretty expensive here, like $50+. So something to keep your eye on. You might want to grab one of these lightly played or just go for the near mint, I guess. It was way better to get at the $23 range though. You might just want to wait it out or just cut this as a loss altogether, honestly though, at this price. Because this is all speculation really. There is the collectability aspect of it, but I think it's probably mainly speculation because this engine is really good. We just don't know yet what it could possibly see play in. Joker Straight, we'll take a look at that as well. It's also open price, which is crazy to me because you can't really play this card without walking yourself into light warrior monsters, which I really wouldn't want to do. But these are $20 now, which is crazy because this was like a $10 card for the longest time. It says 14 here, but I think it was like 10 to $12 for a while. Imperial Bower. This is also, I think, a really good card. Lowest listing is 19, going up to 21. This isn't nearly as good as Joker's Night, but it's not a terrible card to have in your collection. We'll take a look at King's Court though, because I haven't looked through here in a while. And we have some time to spare here. Wow, these have really come down. They just don't look good. There's a lot of different copies I would rather have for that $180 to $200 mark. And this is not, one of them really. I wouldn't mind having these per se, but it just seems really expensive for what you're getting. Number F0 is like $78. Like that's a great pickup, especially since the ultra rare is still like 25 to $30. I'm considering getting one of those because I just can't imagine them reprinting this as something higher rarity anytime soon. I also can't believe these Guilty Gearfrieds at $40. It's really not even a good card. Like there's way better super poly targets. Number 39, I would stay away from these and just get the ultimate rare personally. Hyper Galaxies are like $9 to $10. I would stay away from those as well. It's just not worth it. Let's see what the ultra rare Joker's Night is. Just curious because it's not too late to get this one, I don't think. $7, so it was around $5, so it is up a little bit. But then we're bottoming out here at $7.50. I have both versions, but yeah, who knows when we'll get reprints. That's why I kind of feel like it's a good idea to like keep your eye on it. I didn't pull it up, so I'll just go ahead and go to the deck profile now. For if you were just here for the market watch, you can go ahead and head out. Thanks for stopping by. But I guess before we go into the deck profile, I guess we'll just go ahead and end it out for other people. So I'm probably not going to do a market watch tomorrow. We'll just see if there's like a bunch of stuff happening on the market. We will usually try to, but the next major market watch will be Wednesday, and that's going to be when we finalize the contest, the market watch contest. So I will have a spreadsheet with people's names and their choices for the contest. And we'll do a market watch on those cards that people chose. So I think that'll be pretty interesting. But let's go ahead and get into the deck profile so I can kind of show you what I'm working with here for those that choose to stay. I changed it up quite a bit from the last time I showcased this. I'm just making sure now that this is the final version that I'm going with. And it looks like it is. Okay. So I'm playing 3 Branded Fusion, 2 Fallen of Albaz. I'm considering bumping this up to 3, but we're going to keep it at 2 for now. I'm playing 1 Spriggan's Kit, 2 Albion, the Shrouded Dragon, 1 Dramaturge, 2 Ad Libitum, 2 Tragedy, 3 Aluber, 3 Branded in red. I really don't mind drawing this card, so I'm maximizing my copies here. 2 Crossout Designator. I'm going to move these up there with because these kind of match. So 2 Crossout, 2 Triple Tactics Talent. I was playing 3 Crossout, but I am playing the physical deck. I keep drawing 2 copies of them in my opening hand, which is just terrible. Like you really don't want that to happen. We might bump it up to 3 again, but I've been having more luck just playing it at 2. Either seeing the Crossout Designator or seeing the talents is fine in your opening hand. I will say if you're playing the mirror match, I probably will change up this a little bit, my side deck, to incorporate 1 copy of Crossout as well. Maybe just cut this talents and put in another Crossout. Because if you're playing a mirror match, then you really want to see that Crossout Designator. But for the most part, other than that situation, you don't want to see like multiple copies, like the risk is too high. 2 talents, 1 Ash. I'm only playing 1 because I only have 1 in real life, and I've tried to play decks on here to represent what I have in real life so I can practice for locals. I'm not going to buy another Ash until it gets reprinted because it's just ridiculous in price. 2 Ghost Spell, 2 Ghost Ogre, 2 Ghost Mourner, 1 Effect Failure, 1 Infinite Impermanence, 1 Forbidden Droplet. I'm playing 1 just as a cross-out target to keep my bases covered. Like if I want to set my cross-out or whatever, or if they set it on their turn, it's also a target I can use. And it's also not bad to draw because you can set it and use it on your opponent or use it to break their board or what have you. 1 McCourier. I think it's pretty good. Like if you draw it, it's pretty good as well because like most of the time you're going to meet the requirements for it to be a negate in hand. But you can also search it to kind of protect yourself. 1 Fairy Tale Snow, really, really good, especially later in the game. Like usually I don't send this in the first turn, but like turn 2, I usually will send it off Branded Fusion just as another interruption for the opponent. 1 Foolish Burial is really good too. Like if you don't draw into your, especially since we're not playing Branded opening, or actually I think we are playing 1 copy. It just kind of helps get some things to the graveyard that you'd want there, which might be your Snow, could be your Hex Sealed Fusion, could be your Incredible Ecclesia. But most often it's going to be Despia and Tragedy, because if you don't open up a way to get to your branded fusion, you can send Despia and Tragedy, which will allow you to add your Aluber to hand, which then you can normal summon and search for your branded fusion. So just another way to get to your combo. One Hextale fusion. I am still playing the Dragoon thing. I'm just trying not to let it go. I just really like playing it. To me, it's just kind of fun. But moving on, we're playing one Incredible Ecclesia. I just found that this card's pretty good, like either sending out branded fusion or just having it in your hand, paying it for cost, because when it goes to your graveyard, it's always recycling itself back to your hand, and can be pretty good too to normal summon to super poly in your opponent's turn. So I don't know. I've been liking it. I wouldn't play more than one, but one's perfect. And a lot of people are agreeing with me. Like a lot of people are playing this as a one-up in their deck as well. One branded opening just to increase consistency. I'm trying not to play 3 because they're so expensive. And then one polymerization, because when you draw it later in the game, you can always make use of it. But then also as a cross-out target for like mirror matches to stop them from going to Guardian Chimera. That one's not as, that's hardly ever going to happen, if at all. But it could theoretically, but usually it's just nice to draw like an additional way to fusion summon that doesn't banish your monsters. I like it at least. For the extra deck, and this will change with Dimension Force, I'll probably either cut Sprint or cut one of these Albions to put in the new Alba. But we are playing 3 Albion, 2 Mirror Jade, 2 Rebellion, 1 Sprint, 2 Masquerade, 1 Brigand, 1 Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, 1 Guardian Chimera, 1 Despian Proskinian, and 1 Dragoon. And then the reason why I'm playing this Starving Venom Fusion Dragons, I do have Super Poly in the main, but also because we have Fallen Valbaz, like we can also just Super Poly from our main deck. But yeah, for now, I think I would stay with keeping the Super Polys in the side deck. You don't always need them, but for mirror matches, it's definitely nice to put that into your deck. And I have pretty good flexibility with, all of these hand traps, being able to side anything that I want, which is really nice. I did put a large focus on playing a large amount of hand traps because I think it's really good this format. I think on average I'm drawing like 2 hand traps per turn, and then maybe even more, because whenever I go into the Guardian Chimera, I'm drawing 2 additional cards. So usually you are drawing into some sort of disruption as well. But I've had a lot of luck with this, and I don't think it'll change much with Dimension Force. Probably the only thing is I'll probably try out Branded Banishment, but more than likely I would run it at 1 copy or just put it in the side deck for mirror matches. I think it's really effective against mirror matches, less so against the general decks that are out there right now. But yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions about this deck profile or about this market watch. And then also let me know if there's any cards that you want to go over in the future market watches that we're going to be doing. But thanks for stopping by, and I will see you on probably Wednesday. Bye.